Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel. It's Sunshine Lorena and I'm coming with a book haul. Hello, this is future me here. I filmed this back in April. It is now August. Yeah, I know. I realised when I went in to go and edit another video, like a vlog, that'll be coming soon, guys. So yeah, here, there's this video first. And apologies for the delay. Enjoy. So guys, I'm gonna pop these down because they're heavy. Books are heavy. As I mentioned in my announcement video and on haul, I would be doing a book haul because there are some books that I bought over the last few months and I had to buy a few extra books because I had a gift card to use. I have a lot more books for this haul than I actually thought I did when I was looking at my shelves because it's been a while since I've done one of these. Not included in this stack here is a book by Carlos Ruiz Zafran, The Princess of Mist. That is already in Barcelona. I bought it in Spanish. I did have it here, didn't read it these months and ended up taking it when I was there at Easter, ready for me moving. But yes, let's just kind of get into it. So, like I said, gift card. So when I finished my last job, my colleagues gave me a £30 voucher for Storysmith, which is here in Bristol. So I was like, okay, obviously I need to buy books before I leave because, you know, when else I'm going to use this card. So I went into the shop, went up to the till. There was actually no one in there when I went yesterday, which was really nice. And I spoke to the two booksellers and I was like, look, I have £30 on this gift card. I need to buy some books because I'm moving. So I need to, you know, buy them before I leave. And I said to them, can you give me recommendations? So I'm trying to read more books from around the world. And I said, I like Japanese fiction, but I've read quite a bit from Japan, so not Japanese. I said that I like, you know, mysteries and thrillers, but also some literary fiction. And then they just kind of went up. They're like, okay. Immediately, one of them's like, I know which one to grab. So they gave me in total 5 different books they picked out, a combination of thrillers, mysteries, and literary fiction. And I narrowed it down to 3. I just paid a little bit more over the card value. All 5 sounded like really good recommendations, but I don't want to be buying any extra books than I need to since, you know, I'm shipping. But let's go into the Storysmith ones first of all. Also, I have to say, I love booksellers, but like they were like so excited. Like you could tell they're like, oh, this is a great brief. Like it must be like so fun. And I feel like when I go book shopping, I need to do that more because one, I get a whole bunch of books that I never would have picked up off the shelves myself, because you'll see now a couple of them don't have covers that are like would have drawn me to them, but the synopsises sound amazing, so recommend. But you could tell that like it was like the highlight of like getting asked, and I think if I worked in a bookshop, that would be my favorite thing, when people come and be like, can you give me recommendations? I would be so happy. So the first one is called Eurotrash by Christian Kracht. I need to check, but I'm not too sure where the author's from, but I'll double check that. And this was actually longlisted for the 2025 International Booker Prize. I was going to say Book Talker. And basically it's a mother and son. The mother's come into money somehow and they are doing a road trip across Europe trying to spend this money. And I think it's like going through like kind of family history, different bits and pieces, but it sounded really interesting. It sounds like it might also have some funny moments, and yeah, it sounds really good, so yeah. Then I have Spanish Beauty by Esther Garcia Llovet. And this is set in Benidorm, but this is like a thriller book. It's set in like the underbelly, like showing the dark underbelly of like the city, and I was like hooked. They didn't know that I was going to Spain. It was only when I was at the till they asked like, oh, so like where are you going to? And I explained it. So this was a recommendation without them knowing that I was going to Spain. But yes, she is a police officer, Benidorm branch, and she'll stop at nothing to get her hands on Reggie Cray's iconic Dunhill lighter. Up against an unforgettable cast of gangsters, chancers, lowlifes, and a compulsory absent father, this punk picturesque heroine takes us beyond the sunburn and all-day fry-ups on a high-octane ride through the underbelly of the infamous Spanish resort. So yes, it sounds like really good and interesting because I only ever think oh, it's a holiday place, but obviously not all good stuff happens there. And then the last one that I got from Storysmith was Drive Your Plough Over the Bones of the Dead. This is by a Polish author, winner of the Nobel Prize of Literature, apparently. But this is like got some mystery kind of vibes. It's about this woman, she lives somewhere like remote, yeah, in a remote Polish village. She is eccentric, she's in her 60s, and she's a reclusive, she just kind of like keeps herself, like looking after her dogs. But this is her recounting the events surrounding the disappearance of her 2 dogs, and she prefers the company of animals to people. She's unconventional, and she is fond of poetry of William Blake. And then members of a local hunting club are found murdered, and she becomes involved in the investigation. So yes, it sounds very interesting, and I've never read a book by a Polish author, so that's another great choice. The next couple of books I got in charity shops here. Paid like £1, 50p. This was £1, yeah, I think they were £1 each. Yeah, £1 each. So one is 50/50 by Stephen Kavanagh. I have heard good things about this, and also I like the fact that it like red sprayed edges, which I thought was really nice. But I've heard good things about his books, and I've never gotten around to reading any, so it was a good opportunity to pick that up. And then we have Love in Colour. Again, I picked this up because I was thinking about reading more books around the world, and I do really like this cover. Then is one of the other Spanish books that I bought one in Spain in a second-hand shop, and that is it is Goosebumps. It was taking my brain a moment to get there. Big Goosebumps, and it is one of the Horrorland ones. I've already read this in English, but also it is like the old school covers, which I love, and it's just should be like an easy read for me in Spanish, but I thought, you know, build my way up to like bigger books, but that will be fun when I get to it. Then this was a gift from my husband at Christmas. It's a book in Italian, and it is Agatha Christie, and it is the murder of Roger Ackroyd. I was going to say the assassin, but no, it's the murder. So yeah, he got this for me. It's a different cover, it's nice. I like that it's quite a floppy one. I will get to it one day and read. I need to read more books in Italian and Spanish. We'll get there. The next 3, so I entered a competition, part of like it was Harper, like it was the HQ, which was part of Harper Collins, and this was back in October, and they contacted me early on in the year, can't remember which month, might be in February, and I won, and it is like these special editions of the Dial A for Auntie series. They are stunning. I do have like on my TikTok and that I have a little reel unboxing these, but like look at the spray edges first of all. The covers are stunning. Look at this. I mean, look. And then, oh, sorry, I was like losing the note they popped in there. Then it also has like artwork on the inside, and look at that naked hardback, guys. Like they are gorgeous. Another one there. That was the third one, sorry. This is the second one. Again, another gorgeous cover. It has some artwork there, another gorgeous naked hard cover, and then more artwork on the other side, which is cute. And then this is the first one. Love it. I also love how it's like bringing the aunties to kind of life, and how they kind of looked. Again, love that. And the naked hardback there. So yes, gorgeous. These are some of the most gorgeous books that I now own, and these sprayed out edges, guys. The whole thing. When I got that, I was just like, I got a little Instagram message, and I was like, oh, I completely forgot that I did that. And we have one book left, and that is, I got this on Vinted, and it's Women at Hitler's Table by Rosella Postorino. So it was originally written in Italian. I'm reading the translated book. For the last few months here, I have been part of a book club. They are all Italian, so we discuss the book in Italian. This is the first Italian book that we're reading. The rest of them have been ones that are originally written in English. They're obviously reading all in Italian. I got the English translation, otherwise it's going to take me forever, and I really need to make headway on this. But there is a film. It has been released in Italy. I don't know if it's coming out here, but in Italian they're called, it's like it's like the Tasters is the title basically. But yes, very interesting concept. It is set obviously during the World War, and it's about these women who are tasters. They have to taste the food that Hitler's going to be served because they need to make sure that there's no poisoning. So it's about these women and their lives during the war, and what's going on. So yes, I've not read that so far, but so good so far. And that's it. That's all the books, guys. No more hauls for me for a while. Actually, that's a lie, because I do have my friends gave me a gift card when it was my birthday for Amazon. They're like, buy Kindle books, because they knew I was going to be going to Spain, so I do have that to spend. But I'll probably try and read some books first before doing that. So at one point there will be like a digital haul, but like physical book hauls I feel like are going to be a little bit less, because books in Spain are expensive, guys. Expensive. But anyone who comes to visit me, the price you will have to pay to stay with me is some books. But that's it. Let me know if you've read any of these. Hit that like button, hit subscribe if you don't want to miss any more content from me, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye! And this is not a good angle.